Okay, all right. Welcome back. You're still watching Women's Corner. Today we're talking about something nice, and she's even about to practice one. In fact, she's practicing it, balancing your ambition with
Yeah, self-care.
self-care.
I mean,
Oh Lord, the spy is spying right now. So that's what we're talking about today, and of course, this is just to encourage women. Like we always say, self-care is important. You have to be intentional about yourself
yeah.
this time around. And of course, we have an amazing guest that will be joining us. Her name is Zika Ezeagulu. She is a media head of Inspire Marketing and Branding International. She's also a voiceover artist. She is an OAP, a TV personal, and many more. So let's quickly let's have Zika Ezeagulu on the screen. Good morning, Zika.
Good morning, Zika.
Morning, very to be here. Happy New Year. I was listening to
Happy
a
New
conversation
Year.
you were talking about the
You look so
lives and all the things
beautiful.
Thank you. Great to be here. I can't wait to share what I have with the world.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for
Okay, today
joining.
we're talking about balancing ambition and self-care. And of course, my co-host is already practicing that because she has a spa date this weekend. And of course, she's still keeping her heads up high
Yeah.
professionally. But I want to ask, what is the first thing that people should always, women basically, should always think about if they actually want to really balance their ambition and taking care of themselves at the same time? What is the thing that they need to put their mind to?
There are several aspects of taking care of yourself when you're trying to break through a glass ceiling. I think that there are three key elements. The first one is your body. So in as much as you're doing so much to get to the top, you need to take care of yourself first. If you don't take care of your body, then how do you expect to get to that, climb up that ladder? Key things one needs to take consideration is the kind of food that you eat, how much rest you're getting, and how well you treat yourself. So I know that it was Christmas, everybody was out eating jollof rice and soda, partying, drinking alcohol, but that shouldn't be what everyone does on a single day because maybe like it or not, food takes a little bit of time to digest. For instance, meat takes 12 to 24 hours to digest. So imagine having meat and then washing it down with alcohol or soda. It means it takes around 2 days to have that clear out of the system. And if that clogs up in your system over time, it means you will get sick, right? And if you're sick, how do you expect to balance whatever ambition you're trying to achieve? So key things you need to pay attention to is your health, your body, what you're eating. Be sure to take healthy foods, fruits, vegetables, salads, all of that, and then exercise. I don't mean going to the gym. Gyms are, kind of expensive right now. So do a little bit of walks, move your body so that your body gets the sunshine that you need and the exercise to get your bodies moving faster. Yeah, that is very important. Also, women, especially married women, tend to forget about themselves completely and focus more on family, meaning that they don't care for themselves, they don't treat themselves well. All they're focused on is children and their husbands or their partners. So I would like for us in 2025 to consider taking care of ourselves. If it means taking a weekend out to get a spa, to go to the spa rather, get a massage, get your hair done, get your nails done, whatever it is that you were into, just do that for you. It gives you a good feeling about yourself, and on the flip side, it makes you deliver more on whatever ambition you're trying to achieve. So that's the first thing.
Okay. Wow.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Zika, for answering that question. So I have another question, and I actually wrote it down. So how can you recognize the early signs of burnout, and how can you prevent it from happening? How can you prevent it from happening? Those early signs of burnout, how can you recognize the early signs?
Early signs: you're tired, you are mentally drained, you have mental fog, you're a little dull, you're a little sick, These are like early signs that there's something wrong somewhere. So stress, you're basically stressed and tired. You don't have the drive to do anything because your body is shutting down on you. So when you notice that you have that mental fog, that you're stressed, you snap at people for no reason at all, then those are the signs that there's something wrong somewhere. You have to do it.
Okay, thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for that one. There's another thing again. People always tend to think, especially women, we tend to think that we know how to balance our ambitions and, of course, self-care. Now, let's take away the self-care for now. Let's talk about balancing the ambition. Now, for some time, some persons believe in professionality and they want to get it right. Now, how do you think a woman can actually balance ambition with whatever thing that she's involved with? Ambition, probably her family, her friends, social events, social gatherings, you know, her lifestyle basically. How can she be able to balance it and still, aside from self-care, and still not lose herself? Because sometimes I feel like it could be overwhelming. You know, you're trying to get to the top or the peak of a career, and at the same time, you're still trying to, you know, make sure you're at the family function, you're at a friend's party, a friend's wedding, and you have to still buy some certain things for yourself or for the family. At the same time, you have a relationship where you have to attend to, or you have a family you have to attend to, I mean your immediate family. Now, how do you think a woman should be able to balance all of this? Aside from even the self-care first, all of this, how can they be able to balance it?
Okay, that's a very good question. This applies to every one of us. I'll give you an example. I have an auntie. She is a very, you know, industrious woman, let's put it that way. She works really hard. But the problem with my auntie is she works so hard that it affects every other aspect of her, you know, life, which means her relationship with people, social life is not there because she's focused on making that money, getting turnover really quick, and getting to shipping other goods for her business. So I went to visit one day and I said, "You look a little down. Is there something wrong?" At first she said no, but later she said she's had issues with a lot of things. Number one was her health. Number two was relationship with her friends. The feedback she always got was, "You don't have time for us." And it wasn't because she did it intentionally, it was because she's actually very busy. So we had a little sit down and I had a talk with her and I said, "Look, you're not going to lose yourself and your life in this business. There is family first and then business second. So how do we balance this business and this growing business and other aspects of your life?" So I said there's something called the 80-20s rule. So it means the 20% of what you do is the 80% that you get out in return. So it means that you focus on the key areas of your life and input things based on those key areas to get the output, which is your 80%. Is that we do so much 80%, we're running around doing this, doing that, and we're really not getting anything done. And we wonder why. So the 20 rules, 20% will be family, right? Finances, social gatherings, like you just said, and then business. So on the flip side, on the family aspect, it will mean like creating time for your family. If it means calling them once in a while, you have that written down somewhere. Say every Friday at 2 a.m. I'm going to call so and so, or I'm going to visit so and so. So you have that plan written somewhere that you're going to execute. That is part of the 20%, which is the foundational of your entire life. And then you focus on finances. What do I need to do? Do I need to delegate work? I can't do everything by myself, obviously. So who do I delegate the part of this job to make life easier for me? We tend to do so much without delegating to other people because we feel that others won't do it as well as we will do. But I think that if you outsource some of the things that you do as a person to people who are professionals, it will help bring down the stress, and it helps you achieve your goals faster. So, like I said, 20%, putting that 20% into the things that matter in your life and get that 80% result that you're looking for.
Wow.
Amazing. Wow, that's very deep. Anyways, we still have Zika.
Yeah.
And Zika, you're still with us, but we need to take a breaker. We need to take a breather, and of course we'll come back to you and ask you some few more questions. But right now we need to take a tip, and that's amazing. I hope no one is missing this, because if you are a woman and you're missing this, please, you should not. You should not. But of course it's always there. You can always go back to our pages and of course watch them. But so you know, during this period a lot of people will be on their way back.
Yeah,
a lot of people will be traveling. You know, some persons come to, you know, Lagos is some people's hometown, right?
Of course, yeah.
So some persons actually probably travel to Lagos to come spend the Christmas and holidays. So they are planning to go back to their various destination or location, because work starts probably on Monday and school starts probably today for some teachers, not the students. So let's quickly go for motion sickness. That's what we're talking about. But it's actually weird when I hear people who have motion sickness. Like,
I
feel
have
like
that
throwing
a
up.
lot, actually.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Is it long distance?
Not even long distance. Sometimes the vehicle. Sometimes it's just the vehicle that I enter.
Okay.
All those gallops.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I understand that. Okay, so for people like Covenant that sometimes have motion sickness, this is tips for you to be able to manage it. Of course, what causes it and the treatment. So let's quickly go for this tip for motion sickness, and we'll be right back to continue with Zika on balancing ambition and self-care. We'll be right back.
Tips on how to prevent and treat motion sickness. Motion sickness is a condition that happens when your eyes, inner ear, and body send conflicting messages to your brain. You can develop the condition whenever your body is staying still, but you're being moved by a vehicle, like when you're riding in a car or standing on a boat deck. Symptoms of motion sickness. Motion sickness symptoms can develop slowly or appear all at once. Common symptoms include dizziness, fatigue, headache, feeling irritable, nausea and vomiting, rapid breathing or feeling like you need to take gulps of air, salivating more than usual, sweating, particularly a cold sweat. How to prevent motion sickness. You may not be able to avoid motion sickness, but a little planning goes a long way towards reducing the chance that you will have severe symptoms. Boat. Sit in the middle of the boat on the upper deck. A bus. Choose a window seat. A car. Sit in the front passenger seat. Cruise ship. Book a cabin towards the front or middle of the ship. If you can, choose one on a lower level, closer to the water. A plane. Sit in the wing section. A train. Choose a forward-facing window seat. How to treat motion sickness. Get some fresh air. If you're in a vehicle, roll your window down. If you're in a plane, direct air vents to blow cool air in your direction. Redirect your gaze. If you're reading, put your book, phone or tablet away and look at objects in the distance or the horizon. Lie back. If you can, move your seat so it leans back and close your eyes. Have a drink. Sipping ginger tea or ginger ale may settle your stomach. Try something sweet. Peppermint or ginger candies may make you feel better. Consider motion sickness glasses or bracelets. While there isn't any published medical research showing special glasses or bracelets work, some people find the glasses and bracelets ease symptoms. Lastly, take a break. If you play video or virtual reality games, step away from the game if you feel nauseated or have other virtual motion sickness (VMS) symptoms.
All right, welcome back, and that was the tips for motion sickness. I hope that you would, learn the symptoms or the prevention of motion sickness. Yes, like I said again, welcome back to Women's Corner. I'm the Lagos girl, and I still have with me Rose Blossom, and we still have our beautiful guest, Zika. Can we have her on the screen as we ask our questions? All right, welcome back, Zika. Welcome back. Okay, so without wasting much of our time, I'm just going to dive into my next question. So how do you stay motivated and driven towards your goal without, putting your happiness or your relationship or your mental health in the line? How do you stay motivated?
Okay, I will use myself as an example. 2024 is gone. When it was January 2024, we're all pumped. Welcome to 2024. We have resolutions and all of that. And then a few months down the line, we sort of feeling like, oh, we haven't really achieved all we wanted to achieve for 2024. What's going on? And then the spirit dampens a little bit. But what helps in situations like this is when you have, I always say, write the vision. When you write it down, it helps you narrow down on things and goals you need to pursue. So if you're trying to, for example, build a house, of course you need money to build a house, you need a plan for the house. If you're on that first stage of building, right? You need to find maybe how to get enough money to buy the land and build the house. So how do you make the money? Things like that. And so I had to write down and also have like a vision board. The vision board is a clear picture of what you want to achieve in your life. That you put it somewhere where you see it every day. So on your way out, you see, oh, I need to go on this trip by June 2025. How much have I planned? Have I saved for this? You know, how do I intend to go about making this trip a reality? So those things kind of motivate you. If you're trying to lose weight, for instance, have someone that has a very nice body. I mean, you're trying to get to from size 16 to size 12. Put a picture of a girl with a nice body that you like, right? And when you see it every day, you're like, okay, I think I need to go out and take do a little bit of exercise, or I need to go out and work out on myself, or I need to reduce the amount of sugar that I have every day. So these things motivate. Apart from that, you need to have mentors in your life, people you can talk to. Of course, nobody's an island. You need someone to, a shoulder to cry on, a community you can talk to when things are a little bit rough. With people that won't judge you when you have issues. You need to have that person in your corner. I call them tribes. You need to have a tribe. So when you're in a little bit of a fix, you can call them and say, look, this is what I'm going through. I need help with this, help with that. What would you advise that I do? And they can genuinely tell you how to go about achieving that goal. So number one is to write it down, have a vision board, a clear picture, a clear image of what you're trying to achieve. And then also have a community that you can talk to, or a mentor that you can talk to who can help you or advise you when you have problems or challenges along the way.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much for that response. So there is one thing I'm actually worried about, and I know that for a woman to be able to balance her ambition and at the same time have self-care, there's going to be sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice. But amongst the sacrifices, or which of the sacrifices you think every woman should be ready to take if they really have to balance their ambition, make it to that top of their career, the peak of their career or their business, and be successful, and still be able to look good, to take care of themselves mentally, emotionally, physically, in every aspect? What is that most important sacrifice that a woman has to make to be able to balance these two?
Well, I wouldn't really call it sacrifice. I would call it coming to terms with reality. For you, that might be sacrifice, but for me, it's waking up and saying, look, we need to make things work in my life. Because at the long run, you're happy, you're getting the job done. Others around you are also happy. So for me, that will be time. Time, creating time for everything, scheduling that time for everything. Nobody goes to work and spends 100% of their lives at work. Maybe you like it or not, when the person passes away, God forbid, they'll always find a replacement. That's why I always say you need to have a community. The fulfillment that you get as a person or as a woman, as a human being, it's when you're able to impact someone's life. The reason why you're ambitious to get whatever it is that you're trying to get is to make your life a little better for yourself. But in the long run, you're making it a little better for yourself, for others, right? So if you're chasing them away and focusing so much on that work, what is it at the end of it? What have you gained? Nothing. So in time, you need to prioritize time for what you're trying to achieve in your life, and prioritize time for people that love you, and prioritize time for yourself, because you need to be in top-notch condition to chase your dream. So I think it's time.
Time. Wow. Thank you very, very much. Time is everything. And sometimes I wish, aside the 24 hours, that we could borrow hours from people and just add it to make it a one day. So you'll be able to do some certain things for just that one day and not, keep it for tomorrow. But anyways, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zika, for joining us on the show. It's amazing talking to you. And of course, you gave us you know the most amazing thing is she used herself and people around her to set an example so people can understand, because trust me, experience is still one of the best teachers. So thank you very much for sharing with us. Thank you. We do appreciate you. But I hope you enjoyed the show.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Second time here. Always a pleasure being on the show. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much too. All right, and that's it from Zika. She did amazingly well, and she answered all the questions up, without even, how would I put it? Cutting corners. Yeah, you understand. So that's amazing. Okay, because all right, yes, we've come to the end of the show. Of course, up next we'll be having news on the album. We're having the buzz. So I'm going to sign off first before Covenant. Covenant's going to do the last signing out. Let me just take a breather this time today. So yes, I hope you enjoyed the show. I hope you learned that if you have to balance your ambition and self-care together, you have to make sure you sacrifice your time. And also you have to, scale of preference. What are the things you need to do first before the others? Know which is important so you can first focus on that before doing the other, other things, which everything is actually important, but you should know which comes first. Anyways, my name is Rose Blossom. I'll be seeing you again pretty soon. Stay glued because the Screen Divas are coming to your screen again. I love you. Bye for now.
All right, so just like Rose Blossom said, prioritize your time in order to achieve what you want to achieve. This year, we're going to be prioritizing our time. You should, I should, and she would. All right, till we come your way again. I remain Covenant SCN, a.k.a. the Lagos Girl. And like I always say, keep learning, keep living, and keep loving. Bye for now. Have a great day.